What if time, that inexorable force that seems to govern our existence, is not as rigid and unyielding as we assume? This seemingly whimsical question isn't just a philosophical musing. Over the years, it has been thoughtfully analyzed, probed, and dissected by some of the most prominent intellectual figures in history. Today, we have the privilege of plunging into the captivating viewpoints of three such thinkers: Carl Jung, Alan Watts, and the authors of the biblical narratives. They all have approached the mysterious concept of time from distinct angles, offering us a rich tapestry of perspectives to explore. Our exploration begins with the Swiss psychiatrist and scholar Carl Gustav Jung. A monumental figure in the sphere of psychoanalysis, Jung's contributions left a significant impact on the field. His introduction of the collective unconscious, archetypes, and the idea of synchronicity has not only revolutionized psychoanalysis, but also influenced various other disciplines, including philosophy, literature, and even spirituality. But among his vast array of concepts, there is one that stands out for its transformative potential: his understanding of time. Unlike the popular perception of time as a linear, unidirectional flow of sequential events, Jung visualized time in a vastly different light. He perceived it as a succession of patterns and cycles, echoing and reverberating through what he termed the collective unconscious. This concept refers to a shared mental space that houses universal symbols and archetypes. Jung postulated that these recurrent patterns, these cyclical rhythms, are the very blueprint of our lived reality. Through this paradigm, time stops being a mere measure of duration. It transforms into a vibrant tapestry, intricately woven from the threads of shared human experiences. It is a living entity, pulsing with the cadence of our collective past and future. Jung's perspective on time was indeed a radical departure from the conventional view. It subverts the idea of time as an inexorable march forward, supplanting it with the concept of an eternal now. This now isn't a fleeting moment. It is an expansive space that resonates with the echoes of the past and reverberates with the potentialities of the future. His cyclical and eternal view of time forms a fundamental cornerstone of his analytical psychology. It offers an alternate lens through which we can understand our existence, a lens that brings to focus the interconnectedness of our experiences and the cyclical nature of our reality. This understanding of time, cyclical and eternal, is a cornerstone of Jung's analytical psychology. Next, we turn to the philosophical musings of British philosopher Alan Watts. A remarkable figure in the 20th century philosophy, Watts was renowned for his deliberate endeavor to interpret and popularize Eastern philosophy for a Western audience. This endeavor was driven not just by intellectual curiosity, but by a profound desire to bridge the cultural and philosophical gaps between East and West. His teachings and thoughts provided a unique lens through which Western thinkers could understand and appreciate the nuances of Eastern philosophy. Watts had a singular and intriguing perspective on the concept of time. He proposed a theory that was both revolutionary, thought-provoking. According to him, time is not a series of discrete, separate moments that occur sequentially. This perspective was in stark contrast to the traditional Western view of time as a linear progression of seconds, minutes, hours, and days. Instead, Watts proposed that time is a continuous flow, a constant of moments that are interconnected and intertwined. He argued that these moments are not isolated incidents, but are part of a larger, holistic experience. He likened time to music, stating that the beauty of both lies not in their individual notes or moments, but in their progression and rhythm. For Watts, the experience of time was akin to the art of dancing or playing music. It wasn't about reaching a specific destination, a particular point in time, but rather about appreciating the journey itself. It was about embracing the flow of moments, the rhythm of life, and the dance of existence. Watts argued that by focusing on the present moment, we could experience time in its truest, purest form. We could live fully in the moment, acknowledging and appreciating its unique beauty and significance. This perspective challenges us to reevaluate our relationship with time, to see it not as a resource to be managed, but as a dance to be enjoyed. Lastly, we delve into the rich tapestry of biblical narratives. The Holy Scriptures of old provide a deeply thought-provoking perspective on the nature of time, encapsulated strikingly in the phrase, "I am that I am." This powerful declaration, attributed directly to God within the context of the book of Exodus, expresses a profound sense of absolute timelessness and the concept of an eternal divine presence. In this unique biblical view of time, it is not seen or treated as a finite resource subject to exhaustion. Instead, it is perceived as an infinite expanse, boundless and limitless in its scope. In this universe of narratives, God is vividly portrayed as existing beyond the realms of time, entirely unbound and unrestricted by the constraints and dictates of temporal existence. This potent religious literature doesn't just stop at that, but also introduces the intriguing concept of kairos, a term distinct from chronos. While chronos pertains to chronological time that governs our daily existence, kairos, on the other hand, signifies a moment of exceptional opportunity, a moment touched by divinity. This concept carries the suggestion that there exists a time for everything under the sky, and each event, big or small, unfolds as per a meticulously crafted divine plan. This remarkable biblical perspective on time, a perspective that frames it as an entity both eternal in nature and purposeful in its functioning, adds a deeply spiritual, philosophical dimension to our understanding of this complex, abstract concept. In conclusion, whether it's Carl Jung's cyclical time, Alan Watts's flowing time, or the biblical narrative's divine time, each perspective brings a unique insight into the often puzzling, yet universal concept of time. These theories, crafted beautifully by brilliant minds, offer distinctive viewpoints that challenge our preconceived notions about the nature of time. We often perceive time as a linear progression, a river that flows only in one direction. However, these thought-provoking perspectives urge us to rethink this concept. Carl Jung's thinking introduces us to the idea of cyclical time, a concept that is remarkably different from our usual understanding. He proposes that time isn't just an unstoppable force marching forward, but rather a recurring cycle of patterns, a rhythmic dance of moments that repeat in an eternal loop. Then we have Alan Watts's interpretation of flowing time, a perspective that offers a different flavor. He compares time to a river, endless and ever-changing, depicting it as an intricate, ever-flowing stream of moments that is both continuous and ever-changing. It gives us a new lens to perceive time in a less rigid, more fluid manner. Additionally, the biblical narrative's portrayal of divine time provides a spiritual dimension to our understanding of time. It represents time not only as a simple succession of moments, but as a divine orchestration of events, an unfolding of occurrences, each carrying its own weight and significance. Perhaps then, time is not what it seems, but is instead a concept that holds a myriad of interpretations. Each perspective offers a unique reflection on time's nature, challenging us to rethink our understanding. And therein lies its true mystery.